Welcome back. The committee investigating the January 6 Capitol riots will hold the second public hearing tomorrow. The group of congressional representatives has been interviewing witnesses and collecting evidence for the past year and a half. Tomorrow's hearing will focus on former President Trump's role in spreading lies that the election had been stolen from him. The committee will also discuss his advisors and their involvement. We're covering it live right here on our sister station, WNYT. And joining us now to dig a little deeper into what we can expect is Dr. Hasan Crockett. He's the chair of political science and history at Livingston College. Good morning, Dr. Crockett.
Well, good morning to you, Casey Jones. I hope all is well.
It is, and even better now that I get to see you. So January 6, 2021, more than a year and a half ago, a lot of people are over this. Why should people still care about the hearings?
Well, the main reason is because the threat that the hearings show us to our democracy. It shows us that our democracy is in a very contentious place right now. As we know, and as Liz McCain said, and also Chairman Benny Thompson, that the threats that were presented on the 6th still exist. And so we have to be very vigilant, very careful in understanding that these hearings are critical to us protecting our system of law and order, our system of the rule of law, and our system of elected representatives determining who will become the president of the United States.
Makes a lot of sense there. So from the first hearing, we heard a little bit more about the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, those white supremacist gangs. What role did they actually play in this insurrection?
They played a major role. The Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, 3%ers, they all played a major role in the January 6th hearings. Remember what Chris Wallace asked of Donald Trump during the campaign, and at the debate, he said, condemn white supremacy, condemn the Proud Boys. And Donald Trump's famous line was to stand back and stand by. And according to the Proud Boys, that increased their membership threefold. And as we could see from the various symbols of and signs of racism and white supremacy, the noose and the gallows, the Confederate flag, the flag of the 3%ers, all of these symbols and these various racist signs were not by accident. They were there by design. They had a major role in what went on January the 6th.
Yeah, and like you said, then President Trump said to the Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. This committee is really painting the picture that former President Trump is a key figure behind the Capitol riot. So what do you think we're going to learn in these upcoming hearings that kind of really nails that down?
Well, the chairman, Benny Thompson, said that the attack was a culmination of an attempted coup, and that the sprawling misstep conspiracy aimed at overturning the election and aimed at overturning the votes of millions of Americans. And so we will see through the subsequent hearings that this was planned. This was not an accident. This was not people going to the Capitol and being tourists or protesting as they have a right to protest according to the National Republican Party. They said that, well, they're just going there and they have a right to protest. No, this was a conspiracy to overthrow the election.
And speaking of conspiracies, of course, we will probably learn more about conspirators. You know, we've heard a lot about Mark Meadows and Rudy Giuliani. What do you expect from these hearings moving forward to hear about the people who were all involved in this?
Well, you know, Peter Navarro laid out in his book entitled In Trump Time, a Journal of America's Plague, the Green Bay Sweep. And he said, according to that plan, that the public pressure would create a delay in it would allow for state legislators, and these legislatures are Republican dominated legislatures, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, and they were to decertify the results. And then they would have new electors come in and cast their votes. Now, according to Navarro, 100 of the congresspersons were committed to executing this plan. And the only reason why it wasn't executed, one of the main reasons, was because Mike Pence, the vice president, would not go along with the plan. So there was conspiracy in the air. It was part of the whole approach to the certification, the legal certification, the normal certification, something that is so innocuous, we very seldom pay any attention to it. But at that time, January the 6th, it was paid attention to so it could be overthrown.
Yeah, there's no way you could not pay attention with the videos we're seeing and more that we're learning. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Crockett, for this very insightful discussion. And there are plenty more hearings, so maybe we'll hear from you again soon.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Casey Jones.
And Queen City News is bringing you special in-depth coverage live from the January 6th Commission hearings. We will be sharing the continuing testimony live on our sister station, WMYT, with our chief legal correspondent, Seema Iyer. Live coverage starts tomorrow at 10.